Hello and welcome to Equine Voices podcast. My name is Ronnie, an intuitive equine communicator. I hope you enjoy this episode and thank you for listening. Good evening. Welcome to Equine Voices. My name is Ronnie and we are doing an informal interview. It's a chat really with Patrick Sullivan, and he is traveling across the USA on his horse, Gami and Hal. So I'm going to bring him in and he can explain why he's doing this, what it is that brought him to this place, and just a little bit about his background and where he wants to go forward in the next part of his journey. So please give a big welcome to Patrick. Hi, Patrick. Welcome.
Hey, Ronnie. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you at the minute. If I can't hear you, I'll let you know. Don't worry. So there you go. The floor's yours. Introduce yourself and off you go.
Yeah. So my name is Patrick Sullivan, and as you said, I'm riding my horses Gami and Hal across the country from California to Kentucky, and we're doing it all at Liberty, so all bridleless. And we've already ridden over 1,400 miles, and we are in the heart of the U.S., and we are right outside of Garden City, Kansas, for those who know a little bit of geography of the United States. And we are in pretty much all farmland. And what we are doing is we're doing it for our nonprofit that we started, Gamilah Unbridled, which is for underprivileged kids and the art of liberty. For those who don't know what liberty is, it's being able to communicate with your horse without the use of ropes. And that's the whole idea of doing it bridle, saying we don't need a bridle on our horse's head in order to communicate with him and develop a relationship and a partnership. So we've decided to kind of take a big jump and a big statement and travel across the country and to give back to people and to organizations. We've stopped at 7 or 8 rescues all across America so far, and we still have about another 12 nonprofits that we're stopping at and giving back. And every time we're at all these nonprofits, we do it for free. So we don't charge anyone for any training. We just try to do our best to promote these rescues, these nonprofit organizations, whether it's military organizations, youth organizations, and just do our best to share the power of healing that Liberty can do for both the equine and the human.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, that is amazing. And to do that with no finances is a credit to you. So we just had a quick little chat before you came on, because obviously I don't know a huge amount about you, as I explained to you. I work intuitively, so if something keeps popping up, I think, right, I'm going to contact that person and see what comes from it. So I contacted you, and I'm so pleased that you agreed to come on and do a little interview, little informal chat, and tell us about yourself. But you just mentioned that you know the UK and you know Doncaster.
Yeah, it's actually a small world. So I grew up playing soccer and football over there, and I had the opportunity to go coach. I coached with the goalkeepers at Leeds United. I played for a town called Maltby, Maine football club over there, and I had the opportunity to go around and coach at some different youth programs in England and the UK, and that's what kind of brought me over there after I graduated college. And I came back to the United States and coached college soccer for 4 years over here as well. So soccer and football, it has been a huge part of my life until I found horses. And I love the UK. I have been over there multiple times, and I would go back in a heartbeat. The people are amazing. The food's great, and the culture is just incredible. So.
That is so funny, because I would say the same thing about the USA. I got the chance to go out a couple of years ago, and I flew into Denver and I went to Colorado, and I literally just bought a ticket. I planned a little bit of a route, but it sort of went a bit haywire. It was it was amazing. And I loved it. I felt like I'd gone home. I just loved it. I absolutely loved it. And I couldn't wait to go back. But unfortunately, due to things that's going on in the world, that's not happened at the minute. But yeah, I can't wait to come back. So how did you get into horses, Patrick? So going from football or soccer, do you call it soccer?
All my friends call it football. So either way, I understand what you mean.
I'm just thinking in my head, did you ever have an accent? Because if I go back home, because I'm from Lincolnshire, when I go back home, my accent's a bit stronger. When I come back down south, It's not quite as strong. And I was just thinking what they would have thought about your accent. But sorry, that was just off the cuff there. So how did you get into horses then? Did you always have horses, or is it something that you was guided into?
No, so I kind of, grew up playing football and coaching football, and I got my MBA. So I got my MBA in international business through the college that I was working at, and I knew I didn't want to coach college soccer forever, and so I decided to move back home. And after I moved back home, my mom bought a small ranch and got a couple horses, because after all the kids were out of the house, she finally afford a couple of horses of her own. And that's where I met my first horse as an adult and started learning how to ride. And I just fell in love with the animal. I always say that the first horse I met, I just saw she's my angel. She helped me rediscover my faith, and things have just grown from there. And then 2 years later, I quit my job. I've been doing horses about 6.5 years now, and went from knowing nothing to, riding across the country, sharing the knowledge that I've gained over the last couple of years and trying to give back. So it's been an amazing adventure, and something that I'm so fortunate and so blessed to be able to do. And I see myself with horses for the rest of my life, and just enjoy it every single day.
Wow. So are you self-taught, or did you, we're all like sponges. So when we see something, we absorb knowledge all the time. That's what we do as humans. So was yours self-taught, or was there somebody that helped you as far as training the horses?
Yeah, so actually, I had a lot of wonderful mentors, and what I would do at the beginning, I would take a lesson every 2 weeks and practice it and learn and just try to get better. And so a lot of it's through experimenting, but also a lot of it's through the knowledge of a lot of my mentors. And the last 2 years with a gentleman named Dan James of Double Dan Horsemanship, who is Australian, that's where I really learned the art of liberty and a lot of what I know today. So I'm just so thankful for Dan James as well as Elizabeth for taking me under their wing and showing me and teaching me so much knowledge.
I'm looking at you now as you're talking. I'm not just saying that, so trust me, but I just get this really nice vibe from your energy, and it's really authentic. And I wanted to say that before we go any further. You have such a nice, gentle, and I'm not just saying that. Okay, this is from my heart, so I can feel that, and that's what the horses must be picking up on as well. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so you're now in Kentucky, is that correct?
So yes, so I spent the last 2 years in Kentucky, but my base after this trip is going to be in Texas, where I'm going to start a youth program, a global youth program over the world, learn the art of liberty and reaching the soul of horses. So I'm really excited about that.
So that's going to be in Dallas. No, sorry, in Texas.
So it'll be about an hour north of Dallas. Yes, it'll be in Texas.
Okay. So just give me an example of so in your head, what are you going to do with that? Well, how is it going to manifest? What's the main objectives of it?
Yeah, so basically, horses are no longer used as tools. They're not our transportation. They're more part of our family. And I feel like in order to keep horses in our life and our society, it's so important that the youth are involved. Kind of, it gets them off their phone, get them off in video games and on the computer, and it gets them out into nature to be able to relate to another being and another soul, and being able to connect ourselves. And horses just so much over the world with how they're developing like network where kids can and youth, not necessarily kids, but youth, what each other are going through, and being able to give back to one another, share knowledge. Yeah, so basically the goal is to inspire youth all over the world, and not just youth, but people, and being able to connect with like-minded individuals that can help grow the love of the horse, because the future of the equine industry is in our hands, and we need to make the equine industry better tomorrow than it is today. And it's not to say there's a lot of great things in the world with horses. I also think we know very little on being able to interact with horses on more of a genuine level, where because they're no longer tools. They are souls, and they are part of the world in which we live. So important to try to give back to them all that they've given us for so many years. They've helped explorers explore the world. They've helped kings and queens win wars, and it's our time to give back and add them as part of our family. No longer just
Wow, thank you. I totally agree with you there. They are so wise, and it's much needed in this time, any time really, but it's much needed. And they have a way of communicating with us and showing my perspective, showing what we need to do with ourselves, how we need to address things, and what's going on with our lives. Quite often, if I say mirror, it's not like for like, but they often show you what you need to address in yourself. And then when you do that, they can show you there's been a slight change with a horse. Do you find that yourself?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that was beautifully said. And I really think they teach us more than, we can truly appreciate, because they're giving us lessons every day. It's just important for us to listen.
So we'll go back to what you were saying when you were talking about you're going to have this facility in Texas. Will it be like the horse and the humans interacting and just seeing what comes from that? So it's organic and it's free flowing. Is that where you're headed, or is it going to be a guidance from you?
So there will be a lot of guidance from me, but also instructors and the team that we put together. So it's going to be something where we can teach horsemanship and teach being able to, ride bridleless and do liberty tricks and all those things. But for the trick and the bridleless and all the other stuff comes along, it's important that we respect the horse for what it is. And I think adding the combination of knowledge and teaching, but also healing and interacting are the big principles of the youth program. So we're going to teach knowledge, but we're also going to allow the horse and the person to develop a relationship as well.
I get that from the little bit that I know of you. As you were talking, I'm just going to say it because I'm learning not to hold back when I get information that comes through, or when something comes, and it's meant to be given at the time it comes, not to wait for it. And as I'm doing a chat with you, I'm going to say it. When you were talking, I just got like a collective feeling from horses, whatever your belief is, their energy saying that the work that you are doing and you will be going to do is really important, because it's connecting links that have been broken many years ago. And this is the collective. So as a communicator, I would be getting information from a horse, but sometimes I get a collective communication, and it's the essence of what you've just said. Is they're very not pleased. That's the wrong word. They knew it was coming, and it's sorry. What I'm doing is I'm listening to my communication now.
Okay.
What I'm getting is there has been pain, many suffering, and they don't use the word abuse, but that's the feeling and misunderstanding. And they need this to move forward as mankind, as a planetary thing, but they need this to move forward. And this is what they're telling me to say to you is the link is strong within you, but there are others that are similar that you are going to be linking in with, if not already, and helping this on a more bigger scale. So you might think this is just you, Patrick, but actually they've got other plans for you. So that's what I'm trying to say. And I'm saying that because it's come. So I don't hide what happens now. I just say it as it comes. I hope that, does that make sense?
Oh, it makes a lot of sense. I appreciate you being honest. I know we're just getting to know each other here, but, I truly believe that we're going to change a culture. And I think in order to make a difference with horses all over the world, we have to change the culture. And I think we've started, but this, as you're right, this is way bigger than me. This is way bigger than the horses that I'm riding, my sister, it's all of us. And I think so many people want to give back and want to help and want to heal, but we just don't know how. But we're going to start giving that knowledge of the how. And once people begin to realize the how to heal, I feel like they will heal. So we're excited about that future.
Yay. It's like opening Pandora's box, And when you start that, there'll be lots of emotions and lots of different things and the clearing, and then they'll have a bit more direction. I'm going off on a way different subject than what I intended to. I do believe you are healer. We've all got healing potential. You give somebody a hug and that's healing. It's there. I think it's been shut off for such a long time that, and especially the last couple of years, you either go one way or the other, and it's up to you what you do with it. But that's a whole nother subject. Okay, so where are you going to be heading next, Patrick? So you've just arrived at your new location.
Yeah. So we actually are pulled up on the side of the highway right now, but we are about 5-10 minutes from where we're going to stop tonight. We're going to be at just south of Garden City, Kansas. And then we are actually headed to a donkey rescue here in about a week and a half. Then we're going to a prison to help prisoners that have a wild Mustang program that helps tame Mustangs, but also teach the prisoners as well. So we're going to go to help the prisoners and the Mustangs, and then we're going to go to another rescue. So we got a really exciting next couple of weeks that we're getting into, and we're just going to try to give back as much as we can to as many people and horses as we can while we can.
That's a tall order. How many miles have you got to do to finish what you set out? How many more miles?
950 miles left. So we've ridden, I guess, just over 1,400 miles. And all said and done, it's going to be just under 2,500 miles ridden.
Okay. And how are the horses coping?
So Hal actually got a cut right below his hoof about 2.5 weeks ago, right before our last rescues, and it turned into an abscess after it healed. So he's about 90% healthy right now, but it's hard for him to stand still, but he's almost there. I think by next week he'll be ready to go again, but Gami has been carrying the weight the last 300 miles or so, and she's ready for Hal to get back and join the team again. But at the end of the day, we have to do right by the horse, and we won't push Hal when he's not ready, and we'll just continue to make adjustments. And because if we don't make it all together, then I don't view this trip as an accomplishment. We have to finish this trip as one, just like we started, because those horses, Hal and Gami, are my family. So it's just so important to remember that.
Yeah. I love the way you call them your family. We've been chatting for, I don't know, 20 minutes and I, yeah. So there was a post of, I think it was a couple of days ago, that you was riding with a couple of horses. Was that from the last ranch that you were working?
Actually, we had two people that worked at the Colorado Horse Rescue and two friends of mine now who wanted to come ride from Colorado to Kansas. We rode about 15 miles together, and we rode to the Kansas border. And they are 16 and 17 years old and are up-and-coming trainers in the industry, and they kind of have a like-minded view on horsemanship. And it was just a blast to have them along. And I tell you what, though, when you're talking, I'm 33, and I'm like 15 years older than they are. They love to go a little bit faster than I did. So the next day I was a little sore after riding with those youngsters, but it was a good time.
That's so funny, you calling them youngsters. Oh my goodness. Have you ever heard of Warwick Schiller? He has a brilliant podcast. Have you ever listened to any of his podcasts?
I don't know Warwick personally, but my mentor is good friends with him, and I spoke with him briefly before this trip, and I love his mindset on horses and his values, and he's just sounds like a really great man.
Yeah, I was just listening to his latest podcast tonight on my drive home, and you should listen to that one. Yeah, you should listen to. I'm not going to say any more, but you should listen to that one. It's a good one.
Okay, I definitely will.
Yeah. I was so lucky to meet Warwick for about 10 minutes. When he came to the UK, he was doing a clinic, and I won a ticket. You could go and just watch. I didn't take my horse. and I went to watch him do a clinic. And I remember going into the building, and I saw this chap with a Stetson on, and I thought, I think that's Warwick. It looks like Warwick. So I went up and says, "Hi, are you Warwick?" And he says, "Yeah." And I said, "Hi, I'm Ronnie." And he shook my hand and he said, "Oh, hi." And he introduced me to his son, Tyler. And I said, "Oh, I've just won a ticket to come and see you." So I'm really excited because I was aware of you before, and I was watching you on YouTube and following you. So this is a big thing for me. But anyway, thank you very much, and I'll let you get on. And I went off and watched his clinic, and that was quite a few years ago. And then I've been listening to his podcasts, and I love them because he talks openly about everything and how he's changing. And a few things he's talked about, not on his scale, but I think, yeah, I understand that. I'm going through my journey, and that's happened to me. So it's not just about horses; it's about life, which I really, really like, and that's what your work is going to be about as well, or is about.
I love it.
Earplugs, right? Good. Okay. So is there anything else you'd like to chat about? Because I know you've got to get on and you're on the road still, so you probably want to get where you need to go.
Well, I would love to maybe as we get closer to the finish, come back on and kind of talk with you a little bit more. But, I can tell that your energy is amazing, Ronnie, and you sound like just a great, great soul. And it's like you have the horse's best interest at heart, and we have a very similar philosophy. And I'm just so fortunate and blessed to be on here with you. And hopefully we can carry this kind of relationship over into a friendship for years to come. And I'm just trying to make the most out of this experience and get to know as many as amazing people and horses as we can, and just take it one day at a time and give back more than we take. So if we give more than we take, and I think we've lived one heck of a life.
Yeah, I think that's quite a sentence to end on. I would love to chat with you more. Normally my interviews is an hour or so, but it's hard for you if you're trying to concentrate because the signal's fluctuating. So, but we can do this again. We can arrange to do it, and hopefully it'll be a better connection, or we can do it straight to Facebook and we can just go live on there if that's okay with you.
Yeah, maybe this could be part one, and then we can put together a part two when I'm not in the middle of nowhere. So I think that would be awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. You're not the first person I've done more than one interview with, and it's quite fun. But thank you so much for coming on and stopping what you're doing in your busy day, in your busy schedule. I'm so excited to hear the next part. And I think the people that see this will get a gist, and hopefully they'll go to your page and donate, because it's a charity, isn't there?
Yes, it is. Yep, it's all for charity and a nonprofit that we started.
Brilliant. Okay. Unless you want to say anything else, do you want to say anything else? Or are you ready to go?
No. No, thank you so much. And I would love to see if we can get kind of better service when I'm here next time. Okay.
I'm just going to pop you back out like I did earlier and say bye, and then we can have a quick chat before you go. Okay?
Okay.
Thank
cool.
you. Thanks, Patrick. Oops, I cut him off too soon. So sorry. Wow, what a guy. Really interesting. I can't wait to chat to him again. So sorry about the connection, but sometimes that happens. That's life, but it doesn't matter. You got a gist of who he is. I will post links to his Facebook page and his website, and then you can read up about him and get some more background on what it is he's doing. So thank you very much for stopping on by and for your comments and your messages. Really, really appreciate that. Like I said, it doesn't matter if one person's watching this or 20. It's just getting messages out there, and it's connecting like-minded people. So take care. Have a lovely weekend and a respite from the hot weather. And thank you very much from Ronnie at Equine Voices. Take care and bye for now. Bye.